Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Oh, I got
welcome
my spoilers on.
everybody. Oh no, oh no, no spoiler. Uh, all right. Well, welcome everybody. It's spooky season. Halloween's like tomorrow or something.
I know.
That's pretty awesome. This week has just like flown by for me. How's your week been, Patrick?
Busy. Busy nonstop. Just parenting, working, living, loving, licking. I don't know. All kinds of
Laughing?
things. Laughing,
Hmm. Yeah.
crying.
Anything with an L in it, you're
That's
down
right.
with. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's always good to be a little bit busy. I don't know. I kind of hate those weeks where like nothing is going on. You're just kind of waiting for something to happen. But a little bit of time to relax is great. So
Yeah.
hopefully you get a few minutes. But yeah, man. My week's been interesting as well. It doesn't sound like it's been quite as busy as yours, but
I'm a busy guy.
yeah, I definitely did not plan things out well to where I took a couple days off and it really caught up to me, and I've been playing catch up for like an entire week and a half. So yeah, that part has not been fun, but hey, you know what? I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of me. We're on to episode 15 now.
Wow.
Like, this is crazy. I know. It's the season finale. We made it 15 whole
It's
episodes.
amazing.
This would be like, if they were minutes, this would be a quarter of an hour. Like, oh my god, that's amazing.
It would be.
Yeah, I just I guess just didn't figure we'd get here. But it's kind of fun to end it with kind of a Halloween episode, if you
Yeah.
will. So I thought we'd bring in a couple of guests and talk about a couple of spooky things.
Cool.
People in masks, things like that. So we're taking a little departure, but let's finish this up strong. Let's have a good season.
Yes.
Uh, do you have any thoughts on the overall season as a whole? Our entire journey here on YouTube, if you will.
Yeah. I think, we grew as people, as creators, as
Hmm,
non-professionals, hobbyists.
hmm.
We grew
As men.
as men,
Yeah,
as real men with
I
huge
agree with you.
cocks. I think no, I seriously
you
think
know,
this
I,
overall arc of this year is learning and growing and
hmm,
adapting to like new things and new people and new ideas. And it's one thing to constantly point at people and say, hey, here's what's wrong with you. It's another to point the finger back at yourself and say, here's what's wrong with me, and I gotta make some changes.
yeah, and especially as not to toot our own horns, but
Oh, toot
as
toot
a couple of
away.
guys who have, yeah, toot toot. As a couple of guys who have, kind of thought that we were doing that. I know you've definitely. You're always kind of striving to improve yourself. I know I've kind of been on a journey for the last couple of years of really
Yeah.
trying to improve this piece of crap I call myself. But yeah, I thought I had a good grasp on it, and I thought, I had perspective, and yeah, just this whole experience with Charles has really showed me that I didn't. So
Yeah.
as much as I hate the way that we kinda treated him, I don't know, the result that this has brought and the
Sure.
amount of, like, introspection and just perspective, just yeah, I can't agree with you, more that this is just growth. I think it's a good thing, but, yeah, it's been a weird journey. I
Yeah.
didn't think, I would get on the internet to, make a bunch of shows about some people I don't like,
I
but,
know.
here we are.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
my other takeaway from it is that, maybe we should treat more people like shit. If we got such a nice friend like Charles out of it, we should start treating everybody like shit.
it's true. Maybe we should have been
Who's
harder on
next?
DJ era Eric from the
Yeah,
beginning,
maybe he'd want to be our
you know?
friend.
Mm. But,
Oh well.
yeah, I don't know. It just leaves me, looking really, positively towards the future.
Yeah,
And, I'm just excited for, what we are gonna do
same.
next. But yeah, kinda getting to that, maybe we should, move into the first segment now.
Sure.
What kind of shit is this? I said.
Right.
Oh,
So we've got a special edition of, Low Effort Reviews, this time with a member of the Abase family, which is, pretty awesome. So, let's
that's right,
welcome
my boy.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's, nice to have you here, sir. But, he's coming in with the, special report about, Spider-Man 2 for PS5, which is, pretty awesome. I gotta admit, I'm a casual, so, this is quite awesome having, someone who actually, understands the game, so to speak, and, I
Oh,
I
he
think has
understands
been
it.
So, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
So what did it,
So-
so we have the PS5 Spider-Man 2, correct?
We have to talk. This is something else. I need your help.
Are you sure this isn't something you can handle yourself?
I'm sure.
And how long did it take you to complete this game?
Like 3 days.
So I think it was like a straight 20
Not
hours.
I think they're saying like they think it averages about like 25, depending on like what accomplishments you want to get. So that's not bad, man. If you did it in like 20.
And why don't you tell
Hell yeah.
why don't you tell Gray how you went about the initial launch of this?
So the night it came out, I pre-ordered it before.
Mhm.
So as soon as it
Hell
came
yeah.
out, I played it the minute. I just stayed up the whole night, and I went to bed at 2 the next day.
So he basically set his alarm for midnight and
That
woke
is
up
awesome.
and played till 2 p.m. the next day. It was good parenting on my part.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's not that bad. Well, okay, then my parents suck too. So I remember going out and like getting records like right at midnight because like it would drop on Tuesday or like games or something like that. But this is so much cooler. Like you actually get to play it like the second it's like out. Like that's awesome, man.
All $85.
So can I ask you kind of? Yeah, I have heard it's a little bit more pricey than the stupid records I was buying back in the day. But what's your history with Spider-Man? So this is the sequel. I think the first one came out in, was it 2018 or 2017? I'm assuming you were kind of familiar with that game before
Yeah.
the first Spider-Man one. And then did you end up playing the Miles Morales one that was kind of the in between of the two?
Yeah, I played all 3.
So what do you think on this one? Is it kind of a progression from the first one? Like I know they've made it kind of a bigger world, and I know they were really hyping up like the fight mechanics were different. Any thoughts on either of those? Is it really more of an open world, or
I mean, yeah, it's
I
kind
guess
of
we'll talk
more.
about the fight mechanics in a second.
Yeah, it's kind of more an open world. Like they only added like a chunk of a new map, but they did really do a good job with the fight mechanics and everything. It really like took a step up.
I know that's what they were really like hyping up, was that this would be completely different, and you'd have to learn like completely different fighting styles, and you'd be able to like parry. You'd have to learn certain moves and have timing in order to like deal with certain enemies. Did that hype live up to it, or is it kind of more if you knew the mechanics of the other one, you'll be okay going into this one?
If you need, it's kind of like a mix. Like you needed to know the old ones a little bit, but they also added a bunch of new ones and everything. So
Does
a
it
little bit
still
of everything.
prompt you through like each thing? Like it's like press O, press try.
Yeah, it will tell you what to
I
do.
can't do it without that shit because I would be lost. I'll just be mashing buttons.
Yeah, well, I mean, it worked for Street Fighter. This is a step up from there. You got kind of an open world that you can go to. That's really cool. So I know kind of the thing that people were complaining about on the first one was kind of like the stealth mission, and specifically, I don't know. Did you have any issues with like the stealth missions or anything like that on this one?
No, they're all
Or
fine. Like
cool.
Yeah.
With Miles Morales,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause he goes invisible. That's the deal with him.
yeah,
Yeah, I was good with. I
Yeah.
played the Miles Morales one, and I was good with the stealth. I was stealth master flex. I liked the Miles Morales one. I liked it better than I liked the actual Spider-Man.
yeah.
I liked the electricity. The actual Spider-Man.
So we
Don't want to piss anybody
hey,
off.
Miles Morales is Spider-Man,
He's-
sir. I'm
he
just
is.
saying. It's the title.
So's that Indian guy.
But yes, I cannot remember his
Yeah.
name, but yes, he was quite a character. So with the kind of open world and like the map, I've heard that this one's gonna be much bigger, so like there's kind of more choices for like getting around. I don't know. Did you think like the wingsuit or anything was necessary or like took away from it? I heard a lot of people got enjoyment from like like actually swinging around in the first one, but this seems to encourage more like just getting from one place to the other.
Yeah,
know?
it adds on to it more. Like it makes it so much quicker to get across the map. It's just easier in general because you can switch between.
Like,
Mhm.
I like the swinging part of it. It is cool, but
Mhm.
it's almost exhausting after a while. You're playing for like hours, and you're like, shit. Now I gotta get to the other
Well, it
side of
becomes
town.
like a meta game inside the game where you're kind of going with like the flow of like swinging and stuff. I don't know.
Like,
It's kind of fun.
He
I
was in the
definitely messed
black
around with the
suit and he
first
was
one,
just
but
like right through. And there's like jet streams.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's really cool once you get like the wingsuit. That part looks like it'd be fun to me. I just wasn't sure. And some people really kind of enjoyed the traversing the city by swinging.
I
And
mean, you got the
yeah, I
option,
guess it kind of changes that.
right? You don't
Yeah,
have to
fair
use
enough.
the wingsuit, right?
No, you could
I don't think so.
you could swing or
But fair
whatever.
All right.
So yeah, how did you kind of dig the main part of it, which I guess is the ability to switch between the characters when not in a mission, I suppose.
He liked being a girl.
Did
Nah, it's
well, yeah, that's everyone's favorite part when you get to be MJ. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual like switching between Miles and Peter Parker. I don't know. Did you enjoy that aspect of it? Did that seem to add an element to it, or was it just kind of I don't know? What was your feeling on the whole switching between characters
I
thing?
mean, it was good getting the switch between characters, but some of the missions for the other Spider-Man were kind of like meh compared to the one or the other. Like
Mhm.
Miles were kind of boring.
Yeah, I kind of heard that.
Really?
So I
Yeah.
kind of heard because they're without giving like too much of it away, it still kind of revolves around Peter. Kind of Miles's storyline is kind of side to it, so that you keep getting back to like the. So I feel like I was a little bit deceived. I thought like you know the. I thought I knew which enemy it was going to be from the ads before, but apparently it's not like a huge enemy. Kind of like it was in that first one. It just seems like they kind of did a little bit different with this. It's more of an internal struggle or whatever you want to call that. I don't know. I guess I just thought they were going a different way from what they had kind of advertised it. But that opening kind of mission training thing, whatever you want to call it, versus Sandman, I don't know. That seemed kind of interesting. As somebody who knew kind of the mechanics of the previous two games, I don't know. Did that part seem like it was going on too long, or did that seem kind of par for the course for one of these type of games to kind of learn the mechanics and everything?
Yeah, it went along. Like, because as you're doing the mission, it's like teaching you if you never played the old games,
Hmm.
like kind of slowly putting you in.
Yeah.
Tutorial,
So,
if
I
you
don't know. Do you
will.
feel like yeah, it kind of seems like it. But I guess it's a way that you can, rope new players into it without making them learn off of that. I don't know. I guess the one complaint I kept hearing was just that it took a little bit too long for that section. But I don't know. What were your feelings on that? Was it too long or
No, I
just
think it
kind
was
of
just fine.
I would almost imagine
the graphics on it looked beautiful?
you want it to be longer because like when I played the Miles Morales game, I blazed through that in like 2 nights.
Yeah.
He went nonstop on this game, and I get it. Games aren't the same as they used to be as far as like playability, because you could finish the storyline to this one, and like still have like 60% left of the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of fun achievements or whatever you can get on this. So are you gonna go for like the platinum or whatever? Are you trying to unlock everything, or
Yeah.
is that like really that's intense, man? Well, good luck on that.
So where are you now,
I
as
you could
far as
definitely do that.
percent?
I've got like 2 more things to get, and then I got platinum. So I'm almost there.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. So I knew you'd finished
Celebrity.
it, but I didn't think you were like that close. But wow, man, that's really awesome. So yeah, so having completed everything and practically getting platinum, I think by the time this airs, you will have gotten platinum. But I don't know. What's your kind of overall thoughts on everything? Like, if you were to kind of give this an overall, eh, what would you sum up your thoughts on this whole game to be?
It was definitely a major improvement from all the last games that they've done. Like, they fixed all the
Nice.
problems that they have with the old one. And that's really it.
Anything you didn't like?
Oh, yeah. Anything I didn't like.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Now, were there any lowlights in this?
It was very glitchy. Like,
So I was gonna ask about that. I heard somehow the people who got the test of it had less glitches than the people who actually got like the opening day whatever patch that came out. Like supposedly it might have caused more bugs. So yeah, I was gonna ask you if you ran into a bunch of bugs. Were yours like buildings that wouldn't load or something like that?
it was like colors would be disordered, or like the character would be like
Mhm.
an actual block. just
Mhm.
a white block swinging around.
That's not good.
$85 right
Did
there.
at least put your custom. Yeah. Ah, that sucks. So even despite the glitches, I mean, like I guess we're not talking like cyberpunk style glitches or anything, but still, was it? I mean, you're going for platinum, so it sounds like you are kind of enjoying yourself, even with a few of the downsides to this.
Yeah, the glitches don't like change the
Would-
story at all. They just
Okay. And kind of on the story, do you enjoy kind of the storyline that they went along with this? Or, I know people were really digging kind of like the arc of the villain from like the first game. I know that this one's a little bit different the way they're kind of doing the arc. I don't know. Story wise, do you think this stacks up to that first one, even though it's kind of not as villain oriented?
Oh yeah, this game does twice as good with the villain. Like
Nice.
everything.
I'd kind of heard mixed messages on that.
Yeah, everything you expect, you just don't expect it. It just goes above and beyond with the villains and everything.
So the whole story,
That's
the whole
really cool.
storyline you like too, though.
Yeah, because like what you're expecting isn't gonna happen.
Okay.
So,
It subverts your
That's really cool.
expectations, as they say.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear that's like half the battle, and that means it's good if you weren't expecting it. So that's really cool. But no, that's really cool. So kind of the other thing that I kind of heard about was the MJ mission. How did you enjoy the MJ mission? Does it live up to the one from the first
Favorite,
one?
right?
Or,
I fucking hate 'em.
it's everyone's favorite.
I mean, in the first Spider-Man game, they sucked. This game, they stepped it up a little bit because it's more like
I heard
you don't have to sneak as
I heard
much.
they gave her a little bit better her fight dynamics or whatever. They definitely bumped that up a little bit from the first one. So
Can you make her make a sandwich?
is it as you know, she can fight that. Yeah, I don't know.
She
if
can
you
fight the
quite do that
laundry?
in this one. It's not that open of a world, but yeah. So I just kind of heard, that was everyone's dread from the first one. But you're saying that they kind of improved it in this one a little bit, the MJ mission.
Yeah, they made it better.
You still didn't like it, though.
I mean, I'd rather play as Spider-Man, but like, if I have to play,
Oh, you don't go to a Spider-Man game to play as MJ? Come on. I mean, it's half the fun there.
It's funny because I walked in the
yeah.
other night and he's playing.
Every time you walk in, I was playing the MJ mission.
And I'm like, man, you really like playing as a girl, don't you? You got something you want to call it that about? This is an open household, right? We support.
Hey, you choose your avatar, I choose mine. Okay.
Yeah.
No shame.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like this is overall like positive, but is there any kind of takeaways that you have on this game? Is there anything that you haven't said that you feel like you need to say about this game?
I don't think this is spoiling anything, but like, I feel like they're too loose with their identity in the story. Because like in the middle of the street, they'll just be taking off their mask or whatever. Like, no big problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if they're only NPCs that see you, you're probably fine.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't matter.
yeah, I think there's a few things like that in the movie too, like in Spider-Verse or whatever, where you might not necessarily have to take off your mask, like where people can see you. But
everybody's got a fucking cell phone with a camera. Like the first time your mask comes off, it's over.
It kind of seems like you'd never be safe. Yeah, but hey, if that's the biggest complaint on this, I don't think that would take anything away from like the story or the playability of the actual thing. So, all right, out of 10, if you were to score it out of 10, what would you give this game?
I'd give it an 8.
Nice. And then, out of curiosity, where would you put kind of the other two Spider-Man to kind of put it up against this one?
Miles Morales, I'd probably give like a 7. That one was too. I finished it too quick.
That's what I heard. Kind of the main feedback on that one was it was like a part of a game, not quite a full one.
Yeah.
What about the first one? Does it stack up to Miles Morales or not quite?
I think it would.
Was it an improvement from the first?
It'd still be at like an 8. Yeah, just because it's our first,
cool.
Introduction to the game.
But when you played it,
well, hell yeah, man.
But when you played the first one, before there was a second or third one, would you think the first one was still an 8?
Yeah.
Okay. And if the second one was longer, would it still be a 7?
I don't know. That's on the
story. Same story, longer. I only played the second one and I liked it, but I plan on playing the third when I steal his PlayStation 5 out of his bedroom.
Okay, he's a guy, he's a thinker, he's an intellectual.
Been reliably informed that the personal is political and everything is politics. So,
It's okay if you degrade me, it's okay if you open the house, it's okay, all of these things. I will be okay, all of these. Just somebody please marry me. It's kind of
you like my large breasts, but do you know what it's like to live with them?
You can beat me into submission. It's okay. I'll still love you, Daddy. I mean, I think
the first thing my chat says is, "Well, we know where the goatee is."
Oh, fuck you!
Have a nice life.
I'll see you lesbians later.
That's right. The best day of the week is now Thursdays, with every Thursday having a new think on ThatDarnKitteh's channel. Now, what is a thinker, you may ask? Well, we're a diverse group of open-minded individuals who like to explore ideas and opinions. Feel free to explore the back catalogs. There's a bunch of different thinks on there, from medical assistance in death, to fathers, to kink, to male loneliness, to even more abstract topics, like why are words? We have a very diverse group of thinkers joining us from all around the world. So please join us for a think. And hey, there may even be a diagram involved. All right. Hey. Yeah, so we got, producer of the show, Mysterious Stranger, number 42. Not to be confused with the other Mysterious Strangers, but he's joining us today for a wonderful discussion. It's so awesome to have you with us, man. Welcome to the show, Stranger.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. It's our pleasure. This has been a long time coming, and we meant to get you on a long time ago. But we figured, this is the spooky season, and who doesn't like talking about some of their favorite horror flicks? And, you've got certain bona fides when it comes to talking about film. So who better to have a discussion about some horror flicks than the Stranger? He's got bona fides.
Bona fides. I got one right now.
Well, I mean, Patrick is on screen. I understand. I see what you mean.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
He just woke up.
But yeah, without giving away too much, you have made a feature film yourself, which is pretty awesome, man. I've definitely never done that. I've helped with audio on a few student projects, but man, you've got way more credentials than us. So hopefully that means your portion of the discussion is pro, where we can be the amateurs here.
Yeah, I've made it all the way to Tubi.
Well, I mean, I have nothing on Tubi. That seems professional to me. But it's you had actors, you had a cast, you had scripts. It was awesome. I got to say, it's nothing to scoff at. It seems awesome, and yeah. There's nothing wrong with Tubi, okay?
No, I don't have anything on Tubi. I don't have anything on anything.
Yeah, Tubi or not Tubi.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't know. It just got me Tubi because I'm always like, who the fuck watches Tubi?
The free streaming site. Hey, it's free.
It's free and nobody wants
and you get what you pay for.
Yeah. It's worth every cent.
Well, enough of this hot, scintillating Tubi talk. I kind of sent you guys a couple of prompts to say, hey, let's bring in our favorite movie in a couple different categories and kind of see where it lines up. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and get started with this scintillating, spooky talk.
Get it on.
Yeah, so I guess let's go the easiest one first. A family-friendly Halloween or horror flick. Probably similar, but yeah. Any what's your favorite, Patrick? What would be your favorite family-friendly horror Halloween flick?
I gotta check my notes. And by notes, I mean screenshots on my phone that I took a half hour ago.
Nice. Hey, prep is prep, man. I don't care when you get it done. You come prepared. That's what matters.
Family horror.
Yeah, like family friendly, whatever you want to call it.
I liked a movie when I was a kid called High Spirits. Do you remember this film?
I have not thought of that movie in like a decade. Yes, man. I do remember that film. I watched that
Daryl
when I was a
Hannah
kid.
is in it. What the fuck is that
Peter
guy's
O'Toole?
name?
He in it?
Peter
Steve
O'Toole.
Guttenberg?
Steve Guttenberg.
Ooh, I was gonna say, doesn't it have the Goots in it?
Does.
I thought this was a Gutenberg vehicle.
Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is in it.
Oh, this does have Liam Neeson in it. Yeah. It was before he was
a young
taken.
Liam Neeson.
Wow.
Yeah. Before I was gonna make a terrible joke, but I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip that bad joke.
Well,
it would have.
I'm sure we'll come up with another one.
It was having to do with his wife dying.
Ooh, yeah, that might be a little mean-spirited. It's supposed to
I'm
be.
glad I
spooky,
skipped it. Nobody
mean.
knows.
Yeah, now nobody is the wiser, which is awesome.
I'm moving things around.
Yeah, she got Sonny Bono'd.
My charging cable won't stay in.
I hate it when that happens.
I'm
It's
sorry.
always a pain.
Go on. Yeah. It's a personal problem.
Yeah, high spirits, I remember the cover to that VHS thing.
Oh yeah, I'm
if I
sorry,
remember
that
right, it
was
was like
me.
a floating bed or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So the basic premise is that they go to a haunted mansion, and I guess I think Beverly D'Angelo is in it too, and her family wants to buy this place, and I don't know if they tear
Ooh.
it down or something like that, and they so they're trying to prove that there's actually ghosts there, and they're like making fake ghosts, but it turns out there is real ghosts, and Daryl Hannah's so hot in it, and there's this part where she's a ghost and she's glittery, and all the wind hits her, and it's like
Yeah. Pre-Twilight.
and so that was my favorite family movie for Halloween, horror
I can
style.
see. Yeah, definitely the Daryl Hannah part that tells me family.
I didn't know
for
why
sure.
I liked it, but I liked it.
But now you do, or now you have an inkling. No, I like that film too, man. Like I do remember that. Yeah, the nostalgia is kind of through the roof on that. I completely forgot about that, but I went through kind of a Gutenberg phase. I guess the world did too. But
Everybody goes
you
through
you
that.
had the police academies. But yeah, I mean, you got to.
Yeah.
It's part of growing up. Yeah.
Cocoon 1 and 2.
It doesn't hold up.
Oh yeah, I mean, there were some good ones in there.
That's
It doesn't. I was gonna say I honestly haven't seen it in like a decade, but does it hold up or no? No deal.
No. Now Gutenberg is oddly
That's a
enough
shame.
for the amount of acting that guy did. He's a terrible fucking actor. Like he's not good.
Oh, you're talking about Officer Mahoney there. Come on, man.
He is not good.
Is there a more classic Mahoney? Yeah.
Talk about a hot take.
I admit it.
And he was in everything.
For a minute, there was like
no,
there
but
was
I mean,
like the
what, he
3
was in
years
Short
with the Goots,
Circuit.
but
The Goots.
The Goots.
Johnny Five is alive.
You remember that movie where he was like this fat, nerdy piece of shit who had cancer. He had cancer, and he was disgusting, like to look at. And he met this beautiful girl, and she was like,
Oh my
repulsed by him.
God.
So the sister
I forgot
decides
about that film.
to make him a heartthrob from like one of those like
What the
trashy
hell is
novels.
that one called?
And she like did him up, and he
Yeah.
worked out, and he was like, "I'll have an accent now." Like classic.
I
dudes.
remember that, but I totally forgot that. Yeah, it was such a classy fucking movie. Wow. You just like unlocked this weird memory that I really
that's what I do,
suppressed about
baby.
that entire flick. It was kind of like Shallow Hal, but a little bit different. But yeah, it's one of those kind of Soul Man-esque films that they will never remake. They were kind of an 80s one and done situation.
Mhm.
Wow, man, I totally forgot. Yeah, the Goots had some weird tangential films aside from those Police Academy ones, but
Yeah.
what a weird career.
Yeah. Definitely a
I
career,
thought
but he
we'd be
fucking
talking about
sucks.
Gutenberg today. Hey, I mean, it's better than me. You know, I failed to get cast in Police Academy, so there we go.
I'm trying to find what that movie is.
Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah.
I forgot what that one even is. I could look through his IMDb or whatever, but
I looked up Steve
But sorry.
Gutenberg, fat piece of shit, and I haven't found it.
All I'm seeing is recent pictures of him. That's strange. Sorry, stranger.
Yes.
Do you happen to have your favorite family-friendly horror or Halloween flick?
Can it be a little mini series that's 2 hours long? Is that acceptable?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems like
No,
it.
no.
Okay, well, I have
sorry.
runner-up.
The judges have ruled.
Yeah, no, go right ahead. Please do.
Okay. Have you ever seen this animated series called Over the Garden Wall?
Yes, I have not thought of that forever as well.
I think it came out probably 2014, 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
I'm going to go with that because I actually watched that the other
Okay.
day. I watch it like every October. It's like 10 episodes, but each episode actually has 5 episodes with 2 episodes in each. It doesn't matter, but it comes out to 2 hours. And it's pretty
I
good.
remember the animation on that. It's like super, I wouldn't say like cutesy or like anime eyes, but they're those super big eyes. Yeah, I totally remember that show.
It has like a
Oh, shit, it did have
1940s.
Elijah Wood in it.
Yeah, it has like a 1940s cartoon feel to it. It's about these 2 kids lost in
Yeah,
the woods.
for sure.
It's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually finished that now that I'm thinking about it. I should go back and give that one another chance. I dig that.
It's worth watching.
Cool. Yeah, I totally have seen a bunch of stills from this too that I totally remember, but I'm blanking on the plot. That could be my fault. I might have done something to my memory, but
I don't want to say too much
So I'm
about
assuming
it
this
if
is
somebody wants to watch it, but it is basically two
Right.
kids lost in the woods, and it's a lot of like, it's kind of a fairy tale.
What was it called?
Nice.
Can you don't say much about it, but just say like everything you said because I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay. It's called Over the Garden Wall.
I fixed my audio problem though.
Hey, nice.
Good.
I didn't realize you were having
Okay.
one.
Is there
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. You guys were like, it reminds me. Is it a cartoon?
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
It was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it has Elijah Woods and Christopher Lloyd does a voice.
I don't know.
And John Cleese
No?
does a voice.
Oh, totally. I did not see him in there.
No, I have no
Nice.
fucking idea what that is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for family
really
because
cool.
it has nothing, doesn't have any tits in it or anything or any cussing. So
No. Well, then
I'm trying to
I
find
don't want any part of
something
it.
Patrick's family
family
will be
oriented.
watching.
No, we all love tits in this house.
Yeah, no tits, no deal.
No,
No, I
nice.
get you. To each their own. We all have those lines in the sand. But that's awesome. So it's only from like 10 years ago or so. So I'm sure it still holds up. I'm sure it's not like an outdated 80s flick or anything like that. You said you watched it recently. I'm assuming it holds up.
Yeah, I watched it last week. It has a timeless feel to it.
Nice.
Watched it
Okay,
today.
and then so is it the animation is like 40s style, or does it have like one of those like classic kind of 40s like cartoon actual feels to it, or I don't know. There's no modern day like injected into it, right? It's post 2016.
No, yeah,
Or,
it's
sorry, pre
it's
2016. I mean,
yeah. It's no, there's no. I mean, it's just basically a fairy tale.
nice.
And then to really, I
Well-
can't go further with it because then I ruin the ending.
Well, fair enough.
What's it called?
I don't know. Either I can.
I can't wrap my head around it
You're
for
awesome,
some reason.
Patrick.
I don't know why. Over the hedge. Is it over the hedge?
Over the garden
It's
wall.
Over the Garden Wall.
I'm googling. I'm googling it because I gotta know. Yep.
And it had Tim Curry in it and Chris Isaac. Wow, it had a lot of really cool voices in there, along with Fred
Oh.
Stoller, the one and only Fred Stoller.
Yeah, I never watched this. I never watched this, and I never will.
Really, I totally thought this was right up your alley. I mean,
looks terrible.
except for the no tits thing. But
Yeah.
Oh man, it looks so cool. Like I don't know. That's my style of weird animation. I kind of dig that. I like that a lot. It kind of, I don't know. It gives me that throwback vibe. You don't like old cartoons, Patrick?
I do. I
Got to be modern for you.
Something about that pointy head I don't like. The pointy head on that.
I mean, it's a hat.
Yeah. Do you know that for sure? Have you seen under it?
I guess I don't know. I just assumed it was the dunce cap, but okay, it could be cone-headed. That fair enough. I have not considered that. That might have been close-minded of me.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out to me. But yeah, so that's I need to actually check that one out. And thanks for not ruining it. I'm really kind of dig that one. Well, I understand Patrick's not going to look at that. I definitely need to. So I guess for my family-friendly one, I don't know what kind of comes to mind to me is the one that I swear, like when I was in school, they played it every year, and then it just seems like it was on TV like every year. I don't know. It just feels like a classic to me. It's that Hocus Pocus, the original one. I don't know, man. There's something about it. It just reminds me of this time of year. I swear, like it was just because it was always on TV. And then my school I swear they owned like 3 DVDs or something, and that was one of them. The other one was like Donald Duck and Math Magic Lands. But yeah. Anyway, this one I swear was on like every year. So I have. I did not watch it this year. I happened to catch the sequel last year, and it is not good. But the original, man, that holds up to me. I did watch the original last year, and I got to say,
it's a girl's
dude,
movie.
I love me. it is. What are you saying, Patrick? What, you can't appreciate a feminine movie at all?
I know. I cannot.
Yeah, it's a chick movie. I got nothing to
It's
say
not,
with
but
that.
it's also not a good movie. I don't like
I
that movie.
disagree, man. It's got so many classic characters. I can
It's
totally
Nikki's
see why
favorite
you wouldn't
movie.
like it. Yeah, it's a
That's
great
why you
movie.
don't like it.
She's a smart lady.
Favorite
I just
Halloween
gotta
chick.
say, man,
Okay.
it's just so classic. Like, yeah, like every character in there is just like
Ugh.
classic. You got the Sanderson sisters. Who doesn't love Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy? They're awesome. They are classic. There's so many stupid lines that happen there. The whole candle thing. Who's that little girl, like Thora Birch or something? I can't think of anyone
It is
else
Thora
famous
Birch.
that was really in it. But
She grew
yeah,
up, she
it's
grew up to show
I
her
don't know.
tits.
Even for I don't know about that, but in this, she was good. But if that gets you to watch it again, yeah. And then they've got like Zachary Banks. Like, who doesn't want a Zachary Banks? I think this was pre whatever the cat one was, Sabrina. I don't know. I think this inspired the Sabrina cat puppet, but perhaps I'm wrong. I just always yeah, exactly. The Sabrina. But I don't know. There's just so much classic about this. I don't know. It just puts me in that nostalgic mood. I don't think there's anything wrong about this that you couldn't show to kids. I mean, you might have to have a conversation about virginity, but yeah. Other than that, I remember asking questions when I first saw that, and I think I remember in many classes that question kept coming up when they would show us this movie in school. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a classic to me.
Who's
I
the
think
chick
it never
in that
needed a
movie?
sequel. They should have left it as it was.
Who's the woman? The girl? The teenager?
Which isn't it?
The
that
main
is
girl.
a good question. I can't remember.
She was in a bunch of movies, and then she was in a real terrible horror sci-fi movie.
Is it Vanessa Shaw? I'm thinking it's Vanessa Shaw. She's the other one that's.
Was she the same
top
girl from
billed.
Ladybugs?
Oh, I think she is.
I'm gonna say yes.
She was a beautiful girl. I remember having a teenage crush on her, a pre-teenage crush, when I was 30.
She was in 310 to Yuma. I haven't gotten to that far back in her thing, but yeah, she was all over everything for quite a while.
I bet she was. She just did a movie recently, a horror movie where she's like, Nikki made me watch it. It was awful. It's like she has like split personality, but maybe she doesn't. I don't know, one of those. Like they try to make her crazy.
I don't know.
I forget how it goes, but I don't.
Was it like a Lifetime movie?
Thought about her.
It seemed like it should have been, but she.
It felt like a Lifetime.
She fucking aged.
Well, I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
We don't all have those Patrick powers, but getting back to Hocus Pocus, it does have some of those really amazing scenes that are all kind of iconic. There's a lot of lines that kind of, I don't know, stand out to me. Yeah, I gotta say, just all the set pieces in there and everything. It's a fun family flick, even if it is considered a chick flick. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and I'll hold the banner for Hocus Pocus, not 2. Screw Hocus Pocus 2. But
you got to take the good with the bad.
I think that's where I will not take Hocus Pocus 2 never existed. My kind of runner up on this, I thought maybe it's a little outside of family friendly. I know it gave me like nightmares the first time I saw it, but that original like witches or whatever.
Oh
that one
yeah,
was really cool.
Road
I
Doll.
love the special effects in that. Yeah.
Right.
So that was kind of my runner up. But yes, exactly. It was based on that Roald Dahl one. And they redid it, not nearly as good. But yeah, that original one, that
remake
really
was
got
terrible.
me. So that was kind of my Oh, you're not a fan of Anne Hathaway?
I love Anne Hathaway.
Well, I'm a fan of her. I mean, parts of it.
Fair enough. Patrick has
the good parts.
No, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she is. That's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the
not my
original.
Kevin.
Like, holy shit. You can't even touch it. Like, it's everything about that movie is fucking creepy.
It is so good, but I could see it actually giving like kids nightmares. I don't see that with Hocus Pocus, so that's why I put it slightly above. But I don't know. They're just I'm sure it's nostalgia glasses that I'm looking at it with. But yeah, so that's kind of my runner up. Either of you guys have any runners up or anything for family?
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah, it's very family friendly.
Yeah,
once
I
again,
always dug it. I mean, she was on TV. That counts as
once
family
again, I
friendly,
was
right?
completely unclear on why I liked that movie so much. I wore out that VHS and
I really
constantly.
like the throwback feel of this.
Those big milky white titties. Like, God bless that. She still looks good. Is she dead?
She does.
I bet she still looks
No,
good.
still,
Cassandra something.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
still looks fucking good.
Peterson. Thank you. I
Yes.
was just about to say that, and I was like, "Am I saying the wrong name?" But yeah,
She's got to be like 80.
yes, very talented.
I'd get in there.
Very talented.
I saw that at the theater with my entire family back in '88 or '89, whenever that came out. I think it's '88.
Yeah, but in the
It's
80s, they
different
just
back
threw
then.
titties in. Like, there was just randomly titties in every movie. Every Police Academy movie had titties in it. Everybody smoked in every movie. Like, they were just random titties constantly.
That's how you knew who's cool. I mean, come on.
It was like
Are
they
you
were
cool?
like, all right, we're allowed to put titties in this movie, so we fucking better.
That's right.
Like, if we're doing
They've
this
allotted us.
rating, we're getting the titties too.
I mean, you know, it was a different time.
It was a better
I'll
time.
put it that way.
Better
It
time,
was-
definitely.
Fair enough.
I had a runner-up.
Nice.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ugh.
So I could definitely see that, but I don't know. Is it quite Halloween? Is it Christmas? I understand. This
We were
is
arguing
Halloween.
about this earlier
Yeah,
today.
I think that's kind of the settler.
I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I think
a fucking Christmas movie. It's got Christmas in the title.
So. Yeah, I was kind of thinking
before
Gremlins too, and it's
Christmas.
like, nah,
like
that's
Halloween,
a Christmas movie.
Thanksgiving, those are both before Christmas, so
They're
Yeah, well, I
kind of
guess
like
everything's
one
before
Thanksgiving movie, though.
everything's before fucking Christmas, except New Year's. The fuck you talking about? That
it's
can't
not,
be the,
it's
that
not
can't
called
be-
The Nightmare on Christmas.
It's the Nightmare.
It's true. It is before.
Listen, I saw a YouTube video about this, and are you going to tell me YouTube lied to
bet
me?
you did.
I have
I don't
seen
care. I don't
lies
even
on
really like that
YouTube.
movie
I'm
that
not sure
much.
about
But I was trying to go with the family thing. So.
I like the music.
No, for sure. That one also is a classic. Yes. Yeah.
I don't like
I
to
was going to
watch
try
it,
and
but I
dispute
like
it,
to
and
listen to
then
the songs.
you know, this is Halloween. Indeed.
Yeah.
I like the visuals, man. This one like hit on a different level for me than like Corpse Bride or whatever, which was done later, so you'd think it would be somewhat improved, but I don't know. I love the visuals. So sorry, Patrick.
Yeah,
I must
they remind me of
watch it as
our
well.
thumbnails.
They do have that
like Coraline.
you know, non-real. Yeah, that kind of ineffable, inhuman quality. I agree with you. I like second category that I had you guys bring in. Favorite anthology horror flick. Patrick, I made you go first. Stranger, do you have a favorite horror anthology flick?
Yes, I would have gone with Creepshow, but I think Trick or Treat is a better anthology. Like for Halloween,
I've never
it's
seen
set
it.
on Halloween.
Them's fighting words. Okay, if you're gonna say for Halloween, okay, all right. I was gonna challenge you, but okay, for Halloween, I'll accept it. But yeah, you're saying you haven't seen Trick or Treat, Patrick?
No, we were actually going to put it on the other night, and
Ooh,
I was like, I don't want to, so we didn't.
I heard the questions that I was supposed to prepare for this for, and I choose not to.
No, I mean
fair
like
enough.
last week,
Fair
like
enough.
before I got the question.
Oh, sure.
I swear.
It is kind of a quintessential Halloween. You know, it is like literally Trick or Treat, and then it's an anthology of stories.
Is it good?
What do you think,
Yeah,
Stranger?
Stranger?
You
I
chose
like
this
it.
as your favorite.
Why?
Does
It's
the
got a big
acting
werewolf.
hold up better than Creepshow?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't know if it's better. It does have a big werewolf orgy in it, so there's that.
It's dirty.
Yeah, now you're interested, aren't you?
Keep talking.
You had him at werewolf.
Is it
but,
anything like
You sealed
Caligula?
the deal with orgy.
Yeah,
little
well,
hairy.
not quite exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that Caligula was made in 1980, so I
Yeah.
don't know if it's that much hairier.
Art.
It's all art. Yeah, but you know, it's got the loose premise of you know, there's a whole bunch of stories that must be told that they all are Halloween themed as well, aren't they? I know the overall premises, but I'm kind of blanking on each of the individual stories, but cool. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
and
you
each
get a better
story,
Halloween
it's
anthology.
all-
Like you're totally right on that.
And all the stories, you know, they're all tied together. Also, yeah.
What are the? Can you tell me what the stories are about? I know we got the werewolf thing.
Yeah, that's like the hot chicks getting dressed up for Halloween, and then whatever happens. And then there's like the kids trick or treating. There's a story with like the adults, and then there's a story with like an old man. And so it's like it's all the different ages of Halloween. Like,
I see.
I don't know.
It's fun for all ages.
It's hard to talk about these movies without ruining them, or spoiling them.
For sure. It's been out a minute. Isn't that one also almost like a decade older?
Well, I've never
2007,
seen it.
So yeah, it's even older than that.
So definitely he would at
Well, you
least spoil
should, man.
one of
It's
three.
got an iconic character.
I'll watch it before Halloween.
You've definitely seen the cover.
I have.
Definitely seen the cover with like
the kid, right, with the big fucking melon.
Pumpkin wicker thing, not wicker.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Whatever you want to call that.
A burlap sack.
Yeah.
Burlap sack, yeah.
Burlap sack, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I couldn't think of the difference between wicker and burlap. I'm ashamed of myself, quite frankly. But yeah, the weird burlap looking thing. Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely an iconic thing. If I remember right, there hasn't been like a whole bunch of sequels for that, have there? I can't.
There hasn't been any.
Okay.
Well, that would explain it.
Well,
they've planned one for years, but 16 years later, who knows?
That is kind of one of the problems with like anthology ones. I'm trying to think of like what the most famous anthology film is, and it's like they don't make a lot. Like you've got Creepshow and Creepshow 2, and that's about, I don't know. I guess the VHSs might be more famous now, but yeah, anthologies didn't have like a great run. But that sounds awesome. Yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking of going like straight into like the Halloween theme. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if there is kind of a more quintessential Halloween anthology. And it's got some pretty good actors in it too. I didn't realize Anna Paquin and Brian Cox were in that. Huh.
Yeah.
I need to give that another look. I think it's been probably about when it came out, when I actually saw it last.
Sookie.
But I do remember enjoying it.
Sookie.
It is Sookie. Yeah, or Rogue if you're even older. But yes, it is
always be
Sookie
Sookie to me.
Stackhouse herself. Fair enough. I mean, I get it. It's an iconic character.
Yeah. And she married that fucking guy.
Yeah, that's
real
a
life,
weird
Bill.
one too.
Bill.
I mean, can you blame her?
No,
Bill.
he's a beautiful man.
He is. Well, Patrick, did you have a Halloween anthology one that you were championing this week?
Are we going to share one? Are we going to share this one? Or do you have your
Oh,
one?
so you're going for it?
That's the only one I have.
No, let's do it. Okay. Well, it is.
We can share it.
You know what? You can take this one. I will go with my second pick, which I think is great. So please go right ahead.
All right. It's a Cat's Eye, starring Drew Barrymore is in it. James Woods, right?
Indeed.
I mean, the list is endless. And it all follows this cat, this street cat, and he walks through all these different stories. And I'm trying to think of all of them. There was the guy quitting smoking, right?
So there's The Ledge, Quitters Inc., and The General. The Ledge is also cool. Some of the most vicious pigeons that I've ever seen on film. Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's a really creepy story. Yeah. No, every part about this was. That's why I was choosing this. But I'll go with Plan B because you're right. Like, to me, like, this is, I think, my favorite anthology of like all of them. But
the quitting smoking.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, but they're all
Even to watch it today,
so they're all
it's like,
Stephen King stories. Yeah, and it gets even weirder today. Yeah, I think this one really holds up in a weird way. But yeah, I guess it was kind of designed as a Drew Barrymore vehicle. She had just come off of E.T., and then they did that Firestarter movie, and Dino De Laurentiis just saw that and was like, she is the next star. I need to make a horror movie starring her. So this was kind of all designed as a Drew Barrymore vehicle.
I did not know
and
that.
It's awesome. That General one is just an amazing segment. That's that final one that it all culminates to with Drew Barrymore. But so it's basically 3 stories. Yeah.
Love that
where
little
they
guy.
actually built a set that was 20 times the size of anything normal. So
You know,
like
and it-
chairs,
and
like
it was
they had to use
incredible.
forklifts and shit to move them.
Because like
Yeah,
when I
it's
was a
such
kid
an amazing set.
watching that shit, I didn't fucking. There was no time in my brain where I was like, yeah, that's that's like a big set. I was like, this is one thing happening. And now you watch it as an
Yeah, it's
adult.
like, oh shit, they exist.
We watched it like last year, I think. Nikki and I watched it to see if it holds up. And let me tell you, it fucking does.
It does.
Big time.
Man, that James Woods one. So I think my favorite is Quitters Inc., like you were saying. But that James Woods one where he's essentially makes a deal with the mob to make him quit smoking. It is so crazy.
Oh my
So
God.
the film deals with 3 fears. So the first one is Quitters Inc. It's the fear of addiction. The second one is the ledge. It's the fear of heights. And then the third one is the general, which is the fear of the unknown. And yeah, it is just an amazing, like weird movie, unlike any other. But yeah, James Woods. I think this is my favorite James Woods
Oh,
performance.
he's fucking great. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, having to deal with that, and it just feels like it would hit so close to home. Like I don't know. Yeah, if you've ever dealt with any issues like that, I couldn't imagine having to treat something like that in this way. It's just an amazing overall story, and then the execution of it is great. They did really make these like 3 independent little films, but they do fit together. Yeah, and then I don't know if you have any fear of heights, but did the ledge kind of get you with the whole height thing?
I'm fucking terrified.
I know that was
I am too.
That was kind of the one that got me as a kid. Like I don't think I understood the whole Quitters Inc. thing, like when I watched it, but that fear of heights and like the pigeons, yeah, like going after your feet while you're just like on this thin ledge. Yeah, that just that messed me up as a kid, man. But yeah, did you have any thoughts on the ledge one? I know
what? You know what's funny?
Often gets overlooked.
I remember this movie from when I watched it when I was a kid, and then watching it again as an adult in like the last couple of years. I battle addiction. So watching it again and like seeing all these different themes is totally different. Not the Drew Barrymore one, because I mean that's really, what is it? Overcoming fear or the unknown or something?
Fear of the unknown or fear of the boogeyman, like kind of either one of those. You know,
That's
the creature living in
ridiculous.
your wall.
Yeah. The other,
I had that fear when I was a kid. I think it might have stemmed from this film, but yeah, I don't know. Like anytime like I'd hear a pipe rattle or something on the wall, it's like, oh god.
Did
there's
you have
something
the
living in
thing
there.
when you were a kid when you would be like, I have to stay completely fucking still, because if I don't, if I
Yes.
move a muscle, the thing will know and it will come to get me because it can only see movement. I'd be like, it can
Like
look
a
at me through
T-Rex.
my fucking drawers or something, and I would just lay there.
Yeah.
It's probably something my mother
Yeah.
did to me, like if you fucking move it, like when I was a baby. Now I'm mentally
I
disturbed.
wonder, or it could be that whole like fright, flight, or freeze thing. Who knows? Maybe we were just so frozen with fear, we just chose not to move.
Afraid of the dark.
I guess it's a strategy. Some things do see movement. I don't know.
Stranger, did you have that as a child?
I still
The
do.
deciding factor. Are we weird? Oh,
Yes.
that makes sense.
He has it right now.
Well, hey, I
We're
mean,
all
it seems
weird.
to be working. I'm
He's in the
assuming
dark.
the creatures haven't gotten you yet.
I need to get a thing. I don't have a thing
Well-
on my off-camera avatar. It's just a plain avatar. I tried to use the AI and I can't. I told you I was the one.
Oh.
It was the one picture, and all it kept doing for me was giving me hands, repeatedly giving me hands, and I'm like, I don't want hands. I want like
It's the
cool shit.
worst at hands too.
And
like
I know
What'd
they
you
were like
type in?
the hands are
double
like
hands,
correct.
like they were like hands, like.
You just said it hands me, man.
And I gave it detailed,
You
but
said
then I
this
realized
guy, but high fives.
that if you're like integrating a picture, that you have to make the picture smaller to have the surface area be filled in by the AI. So I was only having it fill in the section where my
can.
hands were, and it was just like hands. You need fucking hands. That was a horror movie.
It gets tricky, and then like there's a lot that goes into the prompts and
can't.
like
I
negative
can't.
prompts, and then like once you get to like control net, there's
Maybe-
a lot of weird
Maybe I'll have to have one of you
stuff
guys
that
make it
goes
for me
into it.
because I can't.
All right, that'll be fun. I'll do an AI, Patrick. I'll just get it to shoot out a starfish. I think you'll be
Yeah.
good.
Out of my booty hole, starfish out of my starfish.
So, Stranger, have you ever seen a Cat's Eye at all?
Yes, but it's been a really long time. I don't really remember much of it. I remember the Drew Barrymore segment. That's about it.
It does
And
all
James
kind of lead
Woods.
up to that
He
one.
Yeah. I need to watch it again.
It's
He's an amazing man.
pretty intense. Yeah, and this is a performance that kind of I don't know it sticks with you. For those that haven't seen it, I won't ruin too much of it, but yeah, it definitely like Patrick was saying when I watched it back and I had more experience in my life, it was
Yeah.
like, oh god, I really can
Because
put myself in
even
his
the quitting
shoes, and that
smoking.
is
I keep talking over you
yeah.
today. I'm sorry. I'm doing it. That's like I've done it 100
Ah,
times, and I feel bad now.
you're putting me in my place. You know, it's all
It's
understood.
usually the other way around.
Well, it's your week, sir. Um, but yeah, just that quitting smoking thing, like that just really hit home to me. Like, if you really did pay someone that would go to any price and say they were unscrupulous, just how bad could that be? And yeah, I honestly didn't remember it until I rewatched it recently. But yeah, that's the one that just impacts me the most. But as a kid, I think the other two really got me. The ledge thing, I was always kind of a bit afraid of heights, and my feet are kind of big, so anything like that where I'd have to balance on like a beam or like a little ledge, it always made me nervous. So
Yeah.
yeah, but nothing quite stuck with me like the culmination in this one, the general, which is it sounds like it might be your least favorite, Patrick.
No, I like
Were you
it.
not
It's really
digging it?
cool. It's really cool. It's just, again, as an adult, when I was a kid, I loved that part of it. But as an adult,
Mm,
watching the smoking one gets me. Like when
yeah, for sure.
because I've quit smoking. I'm back on the butts. Terrible. But I've quit smoking before in my life, and I know that feeling. Like the other day, I'm
Mhm.
on the road a lot for work. The other day, I was at Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a guy, and he's having a cigarette, and he's wearing a fucking like uh like a heavy glove, like a winter glove, and he's smoking a cigarette with just one fucking glove on. And I'm like, what is this fucking? And then it dawned on me, like he's a secret
He's
smoker. Like he
probably
had,
trying to
yeah,
hide it.
he
Yeah.
quit, and he doesn't want his hands to stink, and so he's
Wonder
like,
if he has like Febreze in his car or something.
probably.
Yeah.
But so like those parts in that part of the story when he's like like sneaking a light one and it's like, oh, I get it.
Mhm.
Like I probably would do that and I'd be like, yeah, fine, kill my family, cut off fingers, I don't care.
Yeah, it gets dark
It does.
quick. But yeah, that one really hit home to me once I
the general, yeah,
just something about
it
it.
was good.
So yeah, there is kind of a through story with this cat, and it culminates to this end one where there's a creature. Apparently, it's from the same place that the It creature is, the clown from It, according to Stephen King. This little troll is the same. It's from the same place that It is from, apparently. But it's a little troll that lives in this child's wall and tries to steal her soul. So yeah, it's really interesting. So they used a little person to play like the troll. They had like a puppet for just its facial features when they were doing like close-ups. But this room was built 20 times the size of like anything
So cool.
real. So like they won Guinness World Records for like the biggest bed ever constructed and a whole bunch of other crap. But man, just the practical effects on this, the actual set was just so amazing, and it really stuck with me, and it really convinced me that like these things existed when I was a kid. I probably saw it way too young, but yeah, that one
Yeah.
really kind of scarred me for a
Puts
while.
fucking Ant-Man to shame.
For sure.
It
Somehow
does.
this looks so much better, but
Weirdly.
I don't know. Well, any final thoughts on Cat's Eye?
No.
All right. So my runner-up, and it really is just the runner-up, it's Creepshow. I love Creepshow. There's nothing wrong with it. It is one of the more famous anthologies. Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with it. There definitely are.
No, it's just like
I would get rid of
it's
one
like
entire
it's like pot.
section.
You're like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
There's nothing
okay.
wrong. Okay, they're lies. Okay, they're damn
It's just
dirty lies.
Creepshow, Mom.
No, Creepshow is awesome. It's got a little bit of flaws. I don't necessarily. I mean, I like the overall construct that you're looking at one of these old comics, and it's got a bunch of different tales in there, kind of like the Tales from the Crypt thing. I don't know. There's a couple of stories that I don't like as much. The whole one with the I can't remember the name of that one, but the one the dead father or whatever. Everyone's waiting for the father to return for like dinner or something. I really did not like that one, but it does have some really fun bits in it. Like I love the whole Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen one. That one is just like iconic. The other ones as well. I don't know. It's got a lot of good acting in it. It's got a lot of just overall I don't know. I guess classic is just the way to put on the description that I'm looking for. I don't know. It just when I'm thinking of an anthology film, Creepshow is generally what comes to mind. I honestly wasn't thinking about Cat's Eye, but I think all three stories hold up. Where not every story in this one hold up for me, so it's just a little bit better. But they still are iconic. Like the whatever that beast one is. I really should have looked up the names on these since it was my runner-up. I didn't do as much research, but yeah,
low effort.
Creepshow. Nothing wrong with it. It got a sequel, so that is kind of the weird thing. There are no real like other than VHS, I can't think of like any anthology series that's like long running or anything like that. And I don't know. I would say VHS is of diminishing quality.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It's poopy.
Well, Stranger, I didn't ask you, do you have any runners up for the anthology films?
Yeah, it would have been Creepshow. It would have been Creepshow and Creepshow 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
I
there a
don't know.
reason why
I
you
like
had
both
like
of
your
them.
second one, not your for sure. I think between the two of them, you get one really good film. Yeah, I really like some of what's in Creepshow too, but I don't know.
What about Twilight
Again,
Zone?
there's just like
Wasn't
a couple
that-
bits. That I
Was
could-
there 2 of those or one of those?
Yeah,
There's only
the guy
one.
on the plane.
So yeah, so the John Lithgow one is pretty good. I don't know. I kind of like the
Yeah.
classic, the TV one. I think all of them from that movie kind of don't hit as home to me as they should. And then
Yeah.
with the weird death of the kids in there, and I can't remember the actor's name. I don't know. It kind of is a weird flick to me where I don't see anything like that with Creepshow. I'm just a little bit more happy to watch it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
Vic
a weird
Morrow
personal
was
thing.
the name of the actor that died.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
totally going to mess it up if I reached
What's his
for it.
name?
Thank you.
Vic Morrow.
Vic Morrow.
Oh.
There was unfortunately an accident with a helicopter, and it just came down and took him out and 2 child actors. Well, 2 children that they were having act in the film. So it was just.
I just
bad
heard
times.
something different when you said that. I thought you said his name was Dick Moorhead. I was like, what?
Oh,
I don't know how I got that from Vic.
Dick Moorhead.
Yeah.
Dick
Moorhead.
I could see that classic actor, but no, he wasn't talking about that actor. Again, yeah.
How did you see?
But yeah,
Did you see what's his name died? The guy who played
Shaft, Richard Roundtree.
Shaft. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh man, that's so sad. It's a shame. Just talking about Shaft.
He was like, they had a quote from him on the news today, and he was like, baby, it's hard. It's hard being sexy, black, and poor. I'm like, this fucking guy's great. He was a fucking national treasure. He was a model, and then he got that movie, and it's like, good for you, buddy. He's Shaft.
Yeah, well, he is like
He was.
the quintessential, that character. I dug the Samuel L. Jackson thing, but just because I love Samuel L. Jackson, but he was no Shaft. I'm sorry, Richard Roundtree is Shaft.
Agreed.
There's only one Shaft.
Even Samuel L. Jackson said that. He said, "There's only one." He's like, "I can't do this.
Yeah,
I can't hold it
for sure."
But I digress.
Well, okay, so I guess now we get to our overall favorite horror flick or Halloween flick.
So hard.
I know. So I guess I'm taking the easy one. Since I made you guys go first, I'll go ahead and go first on this one. So I'm trying to think like what is my all-time like favorite one? Which one have I watched the most? For me, it's The Shining. Just something about that one is just like I don't know. It is definitely my top 10 flicks of all time. But I think it would be my all-time favorite horror flick. There's a bunch of different ones. But I think just everything about it, from the way that they did the sound in it to every single shot in it, it just, I don't know. There's something
it's
beautiful and haunting about everything. I love that one. I know I can't do it justice. There's so many like love letters to that amazing film and the amazing director. Apparently, he put the actors through hell to make it, but or at least Shelley Duvall. But yeah, it
never
speaks
the
for
same.
itself. Like that's what I hear, and it's like
her pants on set.
That's horrible. Like he just like making her do like hundreds of takes over and over again until she was just like hysterical.
Just
like,
scream at her, starve her, make her smoke cigarettes.
That's what I hear.
Brilliant.
And it's like it got an amazing performance.
Oh my god!
But at what a cost? Like I don't know.
She
but and
looks
then
at the
Nicholson's
end of her
performance
fucking
in
rope.
it too is just so chilling.
Yeah.
I loved the book. So my parents were telling me like you can't see this flick or whatever when I was a kid, so I didn't. But they had the book on the bookshelf, so I just read the book, and so I was expecting totally that going into this. It's completely different. I love the way that Kubrick did his changes to it. Apparently, Stephen King did not. But yeah, like the hedge
Fuck
maze
Stephen King.
itself, like so much better than a topiary that kind of comes at you. But I mean, it's its own thing. I'd be scared if some bush was trying to get me, but something about that maze, like I don't know, that just like affected me as a kid. And every time I see like a hedge maze or a giant like corn maze or whatever, I don't know, it always just takes me back to
Yeah.
that like iconic scene, like whatever you want to call that segment of it. I don't know. There's just so many amazing things about that. I can't say enough good things about it. And then all the conspiracy theories that go off of
Yeah.
there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the documentary about what they think all of Kubrick's like hidden messages were.
He was apologizing for
37 or whatever.
faking the moon landing.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of like weird conspiracy theories on that,
They're
and
like, Danny
why
had
the kid
Challenger.
was wearing the outfit he was. Yeah, and the patterns on the carpet. But I don't know. When I think back to just the non like conspiracy theories in it, like just like what's going on, like the pattern on the carpet, the two girls,
Even the
the
patterns.
hag, just
What is the
everything about
pattern?
it is kind of iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Where does it start? One
Where
could
does it
never
end?
tell.
Well, I saw a thing the other day on The Shining where they were talking about like all these continuity errors in the movie, but that they're actually all there purposely because Kubrick is like
he pretty much planned out
like
every
he's a fucking
frame of that
lunatic.
thing.
So there's like a part
Yes.
where I guess I think Shelley Duvall's back is to a wall, and you can look behind her, and there's a chair, very clearly like just a chair sitting against the white wall, and then in the very next like the cut back, and the chair's gone, and there's a whole bunch of shit like that. And then they were saying that like the scene where Danny's cruising down the hallway in the Hot Wheels. Is it Hot Wheels? What they call it?
Power Wheel, I think. No, Power Wheel's the one.
There was no
like the
power.
Barbie cruiser.
Is it a big wheel?
Yeah,
Big wheel.
Yeah, big wheel. Thank you.
Nice.
It's been too long.
So when he's cruising on the big wheel,
Nice.
and like nice. when he's
nice big wheel there.
When he's cruising on it, and he makes a left, all of a sudden he's in the hallway with the twins. Like he's in the kitchen area,
and
then
like, wait, how did you get up the stairs? Yeah.
So they're saying,
so amazing.
and then there's another part that really fucks you up is so remember when Jack is first initially taking the job in the beginning of the movie, and he goes to meet with the guys in the office. So he walks into this building, and you can see the structure of the building, and then he makes a left. It's this massive building, goes way back, and there's you can see offices, whatever else. So they go into this guy's office, and he makes a left, and he goes in, and behind the guy there's a big window, like facing at the outdoors, but there's no fucking outdoors behind him. So it's like, what the fuck is that window? Like they never address like, oh, it's a fake window like we have, but like there's no reason to have a window there. So they have to purposely put a window in that office. And he wouldn't purposely put a window in an office for no fucking reason. He would just get an office with a window. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he made a lot of interesting choices, and it has led to like so many different theories and everything. But yeah, it just leads to like I'm just trying to think of everything that's in it. Like almost every scene is iconic, from like his typing to just throwing a ball against a wall, and then anything with Scatman Crothers in it. Like I don't know, man. It's just my all-time favorite horror flick, I think.
Rad Rom.
And so much less annoying than the kid in the remake with the dude from Wings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen
so that. I don't know. That's my so I think that'd be my pick. I don't know. Any final thoughts on it, or one of you guys want to go next?
Stranger, you can go next.
All right.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
I just watched this last week, and I can definitely see why you went with this. Awesome choice, sir.
Yeah, it's a creepy movie.
Well,
like it being low budget really adds to it. Yeah, I mean, just I don't know. The whole movie's great. It's one that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid too.
For sure.
So
I actually just watched 1 and 2 last week, and The Exorcist, man, that one too. I think those three are probably the three that kind of scarred my childhood. But
I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck is
with
going on.
the Texas Chainsaw.
Every fucking movie and everything that Stranger has brought up today, I have not seen.
Really? You've never seen the Texas Chainsaw
No,
Massacre?
I've seen enough of it.
Oh my god, man. Oh, I don't know if you have. So it's a weird idea, but so Toby Hooper, he's the same guy who did Poltergeist.
Okay.
He's done a couple other ones that you probably know of, but Poltergeist is kind of the pinnacle. It is an amazing flick. He was kind of trying to go for like a dark comedy, kind of like he was going for with Poltergeist, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is like way more of a comedy or an attempt at comedy, very dark. But
It's kind of
apparently
like how
he
Gremlins
kept saying
2
that's
is the
what he
Gremlins
was going
1.
for. Yeah,
No.
it is kind of like Gremlins 1, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is much like Gremlins 2, where
Which one's the one
he's
with
kind of
Matthew
satirizing
McConaughey?
his own thing. So
Oh,
that's
that's like
called
the
like
fourth
the
one.
Next Generation or something. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
not good.
It's so strange that
so,
all those
yeah,
people are in that movie.
it is. It
Renee
is very
Zellweger's in
strange.
it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't it have Zellweger
Yeah.
in it too?
It's got some
And that
Weger.
was during the height of Zellweger.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was peak
but
Weger.
It got it was like
But,
they made that before they got famous, and then it got put out after they got
Like that.
famous.
Yeah, like
And they were
they
both
had
like
that.
pissed off about it, you know.
They had that in
Well,
their
have you
back
seen it?
pocket
I'd be
for a
pretty
while.
pissed off that it. Yeah, you never know when a McConaughey is gonna pay.
Mm.
You know, keep that in the back pocket.
He's good in it too.
But yeah,
He is.
he's not horrible. It's a weird device that he's got, like a mechanical
Yeah, and the leg starts
leg
going like.
thing, like a
Oh right, yeah.
pre-robot. But yeah, that first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it is completely different. Like it's like a suspense thriller flick. Well, not really thriller. Like it is definitely a horror, but it's not a slasher flick. There is much less gore than you would expect out of it. It is very interesting. Again, like a lot of these shots are super iconic. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the character's name, but she's sitting on like a swing or a bench right in front of the house, and then like the camera really low pans and like follows her walking into this scary haunted house. Well, not haunted, but yes, it's a very scary place that she's entering, but that shot is just so iconic, like where it just kind of tracks her walking into it. This film is beautiful, as dark and disturbing as it is. The cinematography on this, I'm trying to remember the dude's
Who's
name.
in this?
But,
Jessica Biel?
nobody
No.
that you would
That's
really
the
know
remake.
of. So this is from 1974. It was shot in 73, but yeah, none of these actors are super famous today. Gunnar, is it Gunnar Hansen was the
Yeah.
original Leatherface, but man, it is just such an awesome flick. And in this one, you get kind of a different Leatherface than you do in the other ones. I don't know. 2, you get such a interesting, I don't know, more fully emotioned Leatherface, but this one, it's just so many strange implications. I don't know. I just really like the way that they did this. So it's kind of loosely based on like Ed Gein, the way that he would make like lampshades from his victims and stuff. It's kind of also where you get the, the fun guy in Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill. He's also kind of loosely based on the whole Ed Gein thing. Yeah. So his skin suit isn't exactly passing, but yeah, that's kind of the whole Leatherface type deal. But it's not as gory as you'd think. Like a lot of the violence kind of happens off screen, or it's kind of on the side of the screen and kind of obscured a little bit. It's definitely different. I remembered it being so much more violent than when I actually went back and watched it this time. I got a question for you. So the guy that I was talking about this flick to, he found a lot of sympathy for the dude in the wheelchair. Did you find that character? So he said that the only good character in the entire flick was the dude in the wheelchair. Did you like that character at all? Or is that just me that
No.
maybe I just totally hated that guy?
I didn't like him. He's like the guy you root for.
Okay, I was wondering if I'm just an asshole. That's kind of what I was doing. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, am I just an asshole here? Because, yeah, talking to Multi, he was basically saying he is the only good character in the entire flick. I was like, he was the guy who was written to die from the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, the rest of I don't
okay,
think the
well,
rest
at
of them
least
are
I'm
really
in safe
bad
company.
people. I mean, you know.
That's true. But yeah, it's really interesting. And then there's like so many iconic scenes in it. Like I keep thinking of the dinner scene. It is just
Yes.
I don't know. It's very disturbing to apparently the 112-year-old. Apparently the character is supposed to be 112. Trying to like kill his prey. Just man, that sticks with me. It's disturbing. And then yeah, I don't know if you know much of the backstory on that, but apparently the guy who's doing the makeup for that was a plastic surgeon. He only did this one film, and that was it. And he was only willing to do the makeup like one time,
You
and
said
that was
film.
it. So they just had to film it. Yeah, I did say film. He was only willing to do it this one time, so they had like one shot to film it, if you will. Yeah, so they basically were stuck for almost 24 hours in that room with a whole bunch of like rancid meat, and the room just kept getting hotter and hotter during the day with all the lights and everything. Apparently, it was just making everyone sick. So yeah, that was as disturbing for the actors as it is to most of the viewers.
Cool.
It feels like it really translates to me.
Yeah, it
But yeah,
does.
it just does so many other things as well, like the fact that most of the film is during the day. That's kind of different for a horror flick. Usually it's nighttime and obscured vision, but this is kind of lonely in the hot sun. I don't know. It's a completely different experience. Were there any other reasons that you chose it as your top horror flick?
I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to say what my favorite would be, but I just watched it again, and I guess it's been in my head ever since. I mean, it's just one that like The Exorcist or like the original Dawn of the Dead that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid for whatever reason.
Yeah, which is weird. It's just a bunch of dudes with green makeup on, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I don't know, if you see it when you're young enough, it really I don't know, leaves its indelible mark on your soul, so to speak. But
yeah, like with Dawn of the Dead, I remember watching it with my dad, and of course he fell asleep. And as soon as he fell asleep, that shit just scared the shit out of me after that.
Well, the whole like start of that with the like breaking into the whatever like tenement building and then the shotgun thing, like
Oh, yeah.
man, like
Incredible.
you kind of know what you're getting
Yeah.
into like right away. Yeah,
They hit the
that's
ground.
just
They hit the ground running in that movie. Like they don't fuck
yeah.
around.
Yeah, that
I love me
racist
some
dude
Ramiro, and
shoots
I
that
think
dude in the head,
they're-
and his head explodes.
Mhm. Yes.
Does
Yeah,
he
man.
slur it out?
And he's
Does
all
he slur it
pumped
out?
up. He gets to shoot minorities.
He's just-
Well, I mean, it was a simpler time.
Oh man, that
Uh,
movie.
wow. But yeah, no, like I love me some Ramiro, and it seems like then
Oh, he's
to
great.
Day of the Dead was just like amazing. But even some of his
Oh, yeah, I
later
love that
films were
too.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
He has this weird
Mhm.
one called like Bruiser that I really dig. But yeah, another one that I was kind of thinking of putting on the list is Martin. It's kind of like a vampire without powers type of story. It's really interesting. It's a different film than you'd think. It was one of his earlier ones. But
Oh, you talking about Martin?
yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, you faded for a minute
Martin,
there.
the weird vampire flick from George Romero. Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig that flick, but it's interesting. It's not perfect by any means, but yeah, very interesting flick.
Was that
I heard
show
they're planning
on
on making his
WB?
last Dead movie that he wrote.
Martin. That
What
would be
movie?
interesting. I know he wrote a couple of them that were like too big of scale to actually put on film, so it would be awesome to see one of those actually like adapted. But I don't know if it would be
Yeah,
the
he
same
had
without him.
he had one called Twilight of the Dead, and I've heard he wanted to make that
Mhm.
for like 20 years. And
Yeah, I think
apparently
that's the one I was
his
specifically thinking.
widow, like okayed a director for it and stuff. So it looks like it's going to get made eventually. Anyway,
Nice. I hadn't heard that. That's kind of exciting. I would like to see that. Hopefully somebody else can kind of make that happen because, yeah, I know for a while he wanted to do that and then was kind of forced into, what was it, like Diary of the Dead, where it was much smaller. Kind of the conceit is like, okay, it's just a
Diarrhea of the
documentary
Dead.
film crew. It kind of was. It's not as good as his other ones, but
Land
yeah,
of the Dead.
it's still
Land of the
not a
Dead
bad
wasn't
flick.
terrible. I
I
like
like
it.
Land of the Dead.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
like John
it doesn't
Leguizamo.
feel like it's on the same level. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, he's a douchebag, but I like him.
Yeah. He was kind of fun in that one.
He's Mario.
That one does have some. He's Luigi Mario,
Yeah.
but Mario, yes. Well, awesome. Patrick, sir, what is your favorite or the pinnacle of horror / Halloween flicks to you?
Well, what got me the most as a kid and still creeps me out to this day It's a 1988 film. So I was 10 years old when I was watching this movie, and it used to scare the fuck out of me. So it's about this young boy who is haunted by a
Sounds scary.
yes, by a lady in white. Now, you remember this movie, Lady in White?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It takes place in the 60s. It was with a young Lucas Haas. You know Lucas Haas, that weirdo?
Ooh, Lucas Haas. Yeah, I haven't thought about him forever.
Weirdo.
And there's like this lady in white, and there's a little ghost girl in his school, and there's bullies, and he's a weirdo. And then there's always singing this song, have you ever seen a dream walking? Well, I did. Have you ever seen a dream?
Remember this one.
Will you thrill me? It's a fucking scary movie. It has the worst special effects you'll ever see in a movie. Like, the ghosts are literally like, I'm pretty sure they did it with like holding a mirror and some light and a sheet. But holy fuck, it scared me as a kid. And it's always stuck with me as a scary fucking movie.
One of the ghosts is Catherine Hellman, Mona from Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's the lady in white.
I totally remember this now. Yeah, I think that is her. Wow. I also somehow locked away the memories to this one. But the second you said Lucas Haas as a kid, is like, I remember that.
Yeah, he was in a ton of shit.
Yeah,
that
like,
weird fucker.
Yeah.
He's still in shit.
Wow, I haven't thought about this for ages. Have you seen it recently, or
I saw it like
maybe
like 5 years ago. But I was looking through movies today.
Hold up, I know you were saying the effects aren't that great.
No, they're
other
terrible.
Than the effects,
but
does it
the
hold
story and everything, and like watching it all, and like the anxiety of it, and it's still there.
I gotta check this out, man. I honestly don't think I've seen it for like 20 years, if even not longer.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
I haven't seen it for a long time, but
like the fake thundering backgrounds, things like that, like it's all over it. But it's worth going back. So if you need a little Halloween rando that you never heard of, that might be a good one. I mean, I know you guys heard of it, but I'm saying.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but God, I haven't thought of this in like decades, man. I think I got to check this out. I got a little bit of time before.
I saw it a lot back.
This might be my
late '80s and early '90s. I thought it was scary too.
Yeah, it was always on. It was on constantly. HBO.
Yeah,
had it
I know. It was,
because it would be on like 73 times a week.
Yeah, it was like that.
that
have you seen the movie Troll?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Troll 2.
That movie used to be on all the time too. I watched that last night. I love that movie.
Have you ever seen Troll 2?
It is a classic. Troll 2 is such
I don't
a
like
classic,
Troll
man.
2. Troll 2 is a bad movie. I don't care what. I don't care if it's
a terrible movie.
Worst movie ever. Still sucks.
Nildog is goblin spelled backwards. Grandpa Seth.
Oh wow.
Grandpa Seth.
How brilliant!
Oh no.
That fucking
best part about that
ginger
movie
kid.
is the documentary they made about it.
I know.
Yes. That documentary is just amazing.
My buddy and I used to watch that fucking movie over and over again when we were kids, and constantly we'd be like, "Grandpa Seth, Grandpa Seth, Nildog is goblin spelled backwards."
It also had so many quotable lines, and there were so many memes that came out of that too. Like, just such an amazing film. I'm sorry, no, it is not a bad film. It is so good. It's
art.
Or so bad it is now good. Yes, it is definitely art.
The best part's the dad who was a dentist in real life. That guy's great in it.
The whole fucking movie is really like, you can really tell it's just like a bunch of people and a camera.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
The only thing it shared with the
couple of
original
effects.
movie was like the name. It had no
Yeah,
ties
but
to
even
Troll.
then, like, no one really takes credit for it though. Like, I don't know. It is it's an interesting anomaly.
Fucking hysterical.
Is there anything you want to shout out? Is there anywhere that people should be looking for you, other than Patrick had a colorful place where people could find you, but other than in our chat
public
and
restroom,
producing the show, or in public restrooms, is there anywhere that people can catch you, sir?
The public restrooms normally there, so that'll work.
Okay. Yeah, either that or
just look for the duct tape around the hole.
Oh, that's considerate.
Metal sharp.
Well, hell yeah, man. Yeah, you got to be careful. That was awesome, dude. Thanks
Yeah.
for hanging with us for a bit, and
And
thanks for
and
bringing
can
your professional knowledge.
and can we also say, what special event besides Halloween happens this month for you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But my,
Are we
but,
able to say that, or is that too much doxing for you?
oh no, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
well,
good
happy
with that.
birthday, motherfucker.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure, man.
Halloween birthday.
Happy birthday for sure, and all right. Well, it is my favorite time of the week. That time where we go to our very special place, which our special place happens to be the Chud mailbag. That's right. We got a whole bunch of answers. We just need your questions. So
Amen.
if you got a question, feel free to send it to askachud@gmail.com. What is a chud, you may be asking yourself? Well, it's one who is creative, helpful, unifying, and determined, because we're taking it back. So please send your questions to askachud.com or askachud@gmail.com. We don't own the website yet.
No.
Don't snake it out from under us. That's a future endeavor of ours. But yeah. So our question comes to us today. Hey, Graytheist and Patrick Arky. Now that you guys have slayed your dragons, so to speak, and have moved on, what is your next move after this finale? Huh.
Prison.
It's always lurking in the background, I do fear that may be our next move, but that's not what we're intending on. Hopefully we can kind of skirt that if we can. skirt. But yeah, I think we want to talk to some interesting people, have some good guests on here, and we just want to have a good time. I feel like we generally have a good time when we're talking to each other, and I really enjoyed that conversation that we had with Charles.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the way that I want to go with a lot of this. But yeah, just kind of looking back on it, there was a lot of negativity, and while it was kind of fun to mock people, I don't know, it left me feeling a little empty. So yeah, I think for me, it's a little bit more of the good that we were doing, and a little less of the bad. But I don't know. What about you? What do you think we got going on next?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to. I think we've always really looked at some interesting subjects, and we're going to have more reviews coming in the future. Hopefully, something besides Apple TV.
There might even be more of an effort.
Yeah,
Mid-effort
I'm
reviews. We'll see.
maybe. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I want to talk to more people. I want to open it up to our chat that the people who come into our chat and always have such a great time. And I'd like to talk with a couple of different creators that we are friendly with. I'd really like to stay away from like anybody who wants to come on and be like, why does the left cancel things so much? And why does the right, I don't care. If you're not coming on to talk about what you're doing or what you like, I don't fucking want to talk to you. I mean, I like ripping on things that are bad too. And people are dicks. Let's get in there. But like that, it's just, we spent 14 episodes with so much.
13. That first one was all about cis.
That's true.
They technically weren't on that
like
one,
a dozen or a baker's dozen. But
yeah,
we need some more positivity going forward in the future. I mean, there's nothing but good things going on in the world right now. We should all be sharing.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, World Hug 3.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. So you're not looking for the next initiative to go after then? Instead, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. Yeah. I'm not looking for that next dragon to slay, so to speak. We kind of did that.
Yeah.
We went on our journey. Now let's enjoy ourselves. That's kind of where I'm looking at it. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
And I mean,
I think that's really.
We made a friend. We broke a man's spirit. Like, we've done it all. So
Victories.
I'm looking to make more friends in the future. Somebody who I think would be really
Mhm.
interesting to talk to would be like Tristan, Nerdette's Newsstand. I would love to have her on, talk to
For
her.
sure.
There's a few of the guys, obviously, a couple of our buddies that we always talk to. But I think there's a lot of interesting people out there that have good shit to say. So I'd like to help
I
bring
agree
that
with you.
to all of us.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that I really got out of that conversation with Charles, like, it's really fun to talk to somebody who's passionate about something.
Yeah.
And, you know, a conversation tends to flow a lot differently when somebody's super passionate about something. And, you know, I think we kind of miss that. You know, we don't have to be passionate about, you know, kicking some guys that, even if they deserve it, you know, that's not where my passion lies. So, yeah, I'm hoping for exactly what you're talking about. That sounds really fun to me. So, yeah, so kind of speaking of that, this is our finale. So this
Yeah.
is the first season. It's a wrap. I don't know. You got any overall feelings on the season as a whole, as it is, as it were,
As it shall be.
as it is?
Didn't you just ask me that? Am I tripping?
I might have. My brain is not working right. But now that we have this perspective that we've done a whole season, we're now caught up to this time in reality.
But what did you think of the
I
season
don't
as
know.
a whole?
Yeah, what's your opinion of the whole? You know, the whole's nice. You know, big fan.
Yeah.
Um, what can I say? I'm not necessarily proud of everything that we did, but
I am.
like you mentioned, the whole growth thing, like it did lead us to where we are today.
It's a
So
journey.
even though I've said some shitty things about Charles and I regret a lot of them, I don't know. I don't feel like it would be right to just go ahead and like private all those videos and kind of hide that
Yeah.
shit. We're gonna wear our past. It's gonna be available as long as YouTube will allow us to keep it up. But you know, I don't know. I think it is a growing experience, and you know, what can I say? We're growers. We're
Yeah.
growing now.
Showers and growers.
Well, you know, uh, what can I say? It has been a really fun situation, a really fun season.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate this when I first started talking to you on Twitter,
Same.
but oh my god, man, this has been a fun journey.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that I'd do 15 episodes and countless hours of you know, just shooting the shit with some cool dude I met on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm glad for all the weird shit that led to this place that we're at right now. But yeah, the future looks bright, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, me too.